This 6-minute video is a slide presentation on how to install a wood stove and metal chimney. For more detailed instructions, please go to the web page at crackermill.com how-to-woodstovechim.html. We first lay out the stove outline and hearth dimensions on the floor and mark the center of the flue on the floor. Tarp off the floor and set up your ladder or scaffold. Use a plumb bob and measuring tape to transfer the center of flue to the ceiling. Use a long drill bit and an electric drill to drill up through the ceiling and into the attic. On this job we have easy access to the attic using a drop-down attic stairs. The drill bit is now into the attic space. Next, we need to confirm the position of any joists or rafters within our clearance area. Here we see our desired center of flue is in the middle of a joist, so we'll need to reframe. We start by removing the plywood and clearing the insulation from the ceiling sheetrock. We have to move the center of flue away from the corner along a 45-degree angle. We now draw out the hole around our new center of flue on the attic side of the ceiling sheetrock. Next, we frame in some supporting block, allowing enough room for the headers to be framed in. We need to make a support jack to support the ceiling joist where we are going to cut. We put the support jack in place under the joist. Now we can cut the joist with a sawzall, cutting right through the sheetrock and then removing the joist. Next, we frame in the headers and some more blocking across to make the hole. After the hole is framed, we can replace the insulation in the attic floor. Then we replace the attic floor plywood and cut a hole in the plywood. The slots through the sheetrock will be covered by the trim plate, or they can be spackled. After we cut the hole in the sheetrock, we screw the edges to support the sheetrock against the framing. We can now view up through the hole, and we can see we have a clear path to the roof. Now we set up the first piece of pipe and the chimney support. We measure up from the bottom of the pipe so that the pipe will stick down about 6 inches from the ceiling, in this case 12.5 inches. Attach the support to the first length of chimney so that the bottom of the support is at our mark. Paint the bottom of the pipe so that it will match the rest of the interior pipe. Install the pipe with support down through the hole from the attic and screw to the framing or floor. Make sure the pipe is level and place the attic shield or fire stop before adding more lengths of pipe. Now we transfer our center of flue mark to the roof and we are ready to access the roof. Take up on the roof the flashing, storm collar, a saw, level, pry bar, hammer, and a measuring tape. We place the flashing over our center mark and scribe the extents of the cone so we know what shingles to remove. Now we remove the shingles in the flashing area. We'll put them back when we're done passing the chimney through the roof. Use a saw to cut the hole in the roof sheathing, making sure to account for the slope. As we look down from the roof, we can see that we have a clear path for the pipe. Now we'll stack up lengths of chimney and verify that the clearance is at least 2 inches as it passes through the roof. We confirm clearance on all sides and make sure that the pipe is plumb and level. When we place the flashing, we again make sure the pipe is plumb and level, and then we nail it down. After the flashing is done, we locate the position of the peak or anything else within 10 feet. We confirm that the top of the chimney is at least 2 feet above anything within 10 feet and at least 3 feet above the roof. View the chimney and make sure it looks plumb and is high enough. Finally, we add the rain cap and any support braces if they are needed. We will put a chase around the chimney in the attic at a later time. The chimney is finished below the ceiling with a ceiling plate and an adapter for the connector pipe. Now we frame the hearth riser or platform. We place a piece of plywood on the platform to give better support for the hearth. Next, we place the hearth pad on the platform riser, making sure it is level in all directions. Now we attach the legs to the stove. Be careful not to damage the stove when you lay it down. We'll put the stove on a dolly and move it to the front of the hearth. Now we put the stove upright on the hearth and set it at the center of flue measurements to match the chimney. Now we are ready to hook up the stove to the chimney with connector pipe. Our final step is to do the burn-in with our first fire to cure the paint.